Have you ever stood at a crossroads in life, where every path felt heavy on your heart, and all you could do was wait for a sign that never came? I've been there too. Standing between two roads. Afraid to move, afraid to choose. And only when I looked back did I realize that hesitation had cost me the most beautiful chance of my life. We often think that silence and waiting will keep us safe. But waiting too long is also a way of saying no to life. Because opportunity never waits. It only smiles at those who dare to take a step forward. In the next few minutes, you'll hear the story of Evan, a young painter who lost everything, simply because he couldn't make a choice in time. Hidden within it lies a simple yet profound truth. That sometimes, by fearing the wrong choice, we end up losing what's truly right for us. If you've ever stood at a similar crossroads, share your thoughts in the comments. Because maybe, this story will reach your heart the same way it once reached mine. Evan was born in a small lakeside town called Linder, where mornings were wrapped in mist, and red rooftops peeked out from behind rows of maple trees. Since childhood, he had a gentle hand and a dreamer's heart. He could sit by the window for hours, sketching the shifting light on the surface of the lake. The townsfolk often said, "That boy will do something great one day." But Evan never believed it. He was afraid his paintings weren't good enough. Afraid of judgment, afraid of taking the wrong step. Then, when Evan turned 20, an opportunity came. A renowned artist from the capital visited the town, saw one of Evan's paintings hanging in a small cafe, and said, "I can take you to the city. There, you'll learn what you could never learn here." Evan fell silent. He looked down at the lake reflecting the blue sky and whispered, "Let me think about it." For days, he couldn't sleep. Two voices echoed inside him. One calling from his dreams, the other from his fear. He feared he wasn't good enough, feared failing in a strange place, feared leaving his aging mother behind. And so, he made no choice at all. A month later, the artist left town. The opportunity drifted away like a small sailboat fading into the horizon. Evan kept painting, beautiful pictures, but lifeless ones. With every brushstroke, he felt as if he were painting another layer of regret. Years passed. Evan became an art teacher for the local children. Then one day, he received a letter. An invitation to a grand exhibition, honoring the very artist who had once offered him a chance. The man had passed away. In his will, he left a note that read, "I once saw in your eyes the spark I searched for all my life. It's a pity you never let it burn." Evan sat by his old window for a long time. The wind from the lake stirred the paintings on his wall. He realized that all these years, what had held him back wasn't a lack of talent, but a lack of decision. That evening, Evan took his easel to the lakeshore. The water was still, mirroring the amber sky. Before him was a blank canvas. Silent. White, like his life had been for years. Without a word, he dipped his brush in paint. For the first time in a long while, he painted without overthinking. Not fearing mistakes, not pausing to decide later. Each stroke was a heartbeat, a breath. The painting came alive, vivid, raw, and full of emotion. It wasn't his most perfect work, But it was the truest. When the sun sank behind the trees, he set down his brush. His hands trembled, not from fear, but from release. He smiled. Not because he had become a famous artist, but because at last, he had chosen. He had acted. Even if it was late. Evan finally understood. There is no perfect path waiting for us to step into. Every choice carries risk. But refusing to choose means losing the chance to live the life our heart longs for. That night, the painting remained unfinished. But Evan didn't touch it again. He looked up at the starry sky and whispered. Maybe decisiveness isn't about knowing what's right, but about taking a step, even when we're still afraid. Evan's story might remind you of your own. Sometimes we stand between two choices, wanting to move forward, yet frozen by fear. We tell ourselves, maybe tomorrow, then, maybe next week. Until opportunity quietly slips away. And the saddest part of all is never knowing what could have been. If only we had tried once. Decisiveness isn't recklessness. It's knowing what matters and daring to take responsibility for it. Life doesn't ask us to be right every time. Only to be brave enough to take the next step. In work, how many chances have we missed because we thought we weren't ready? In love, how many words have we swallowed, and lost someone we cared about? Just because we feared rejection. In our dreams, how many times have we waited? Telling ourselves, not yet. The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. Every beginning is clumsy. Every step needs courage. But only through action do we truly live. If you're facing a tough decision right now, write down 3 things you're afraid of, then ask yourself, if I don't act, what will I lose? Set yourself a deadline, and keep your promise. Once you decide, don't look back with regret. Look forward, learn, and keep walking. If you're standing at a crossroads in your life, don't wait until you're ready. Because sometimes, the path only appears after you take the first step. If this story made you reflect on a decision you've been postponing, share your thoughts in the comments. And if you'd like to hear more stories like this, gentle, healing, and full of inspiration, don't forget to subscribe, so we can keep learning to live more decisively and a little braver, week by week.